Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is a complex mental health condition defined by an inflated sense of self-importance, an insatiable need for admiration, and a striking lack of empathy for others. Far from mere vanity or confidence, NPD is a pervasive pattern of behavior that disrupts lives, both for those diagnosed and those around them. According to the American Psychiatric Association, narcissistic personality disorder affects approximately 1 to 2% of the general population, though rates may climb to 6% or higher in clinical or specific professional settings, such as among corporate leaders or public figures. In this video, we will discuss the nature of narcissistic personality disorder, exploring its symptoms, causes, impacts, and treatment options, while weaving in real-world examples to illuminate its profound effects. The goal is to foster understanding, reduce stigma, and highlight paths toward healing. Narcissistic personality disorder is classified as a Cluster B personality disorder in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, alongside conditions like borderline and antisocial personality disorders. It's characterized by grandiosity, an exaggerated sense of superiority, a constant craving for attention and admiration, and a diminished capacity to empathize with others. Two subtypes often emerge: overt narcissism, marked by bold, arrogant behavior, and covert narcissism, a quieter, more vulnerable form where individuals feel superior yet are hypersensitive to criticism. The term narcissism traces back to the Greek myth of Narcissus, a youth so enamored with his reflection in a pool that he eventually perished, unable to look away. This tale captures the self-absorption central to NPD. The concept entered modern psychology through the work of Sigmund Freud in the early 20th century, with formal recognition in the DSM-3 in 1980. Today, NPD is studied not just as a clinical disorder, but also as a cultural phenomenon, amplified by social media and a society that sometimes rewards self-promotion. Core symptoms. The DSM-5 outlines 9 criteria for NPD, with at least 5 required for diagnosis. A grandiose sense of self-importance, exaggerating achievements. Preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, beauty, or love. Belief in being special and only understood by other high-status people. Need for excessive admiration. Sense of entitlement. Expecting special treatment. Exploitative behavior, taking advantage of others. Lack of empathy, unwilling or unable to recognize others' feelings. Envy of others or belief that others envy them. Arrogant, haughty attitudes or behaviors. Consider Mark, a 40-year-old executive. He brags about single-handedly saving his company, ignoring his team's contributions, and demands constant praise from colleagues. When a co-worker receives a promotion, Mark lashes out, claiming he's the only one truly qualified, revealing envy and entitlement. Contrast this with Lisa, a covert narcissist. At 35, she quietly believes she's uniquely misunderstood, sulks when her ideas aren't praised at family gatherings, and feels crushed by mild criticism, yet masks it with a victim-like demeanor. Diagnosing narcissistic personality disorder is tricky. Symptoms overlap with disorders like borderline personality disorder or bipolar mania. Moreover, individuals with NPD rarely seek help, as they often deny flaws and blame others. Self-reporting biases, where they inflate their strengths or minimize issues, complicate assessments, requiring clinicians to rely on observations and reports from family or colleagues. Research suggests a genetic component to narcissistic personality disorder, with heritability estimates around 52 to 60%, based on twin studies. Brain imaging points to differences in regions like the prefrontal cortex, tied to self-regulation, and the insula, linked to empathy. These structural or functional variances may underpin the emotional and behavioral patterns of NPD. Childhood experiences play a pivotal role. Excessive praise, such as a parent calling a child perfect or destined for greatness without grounding in reality, can foster grandiosity. Conversely, neglect or abuse may lead to a fragile self-image masked by a superior facade. For example, James was showered with adulation by his mother, told he was better than everyone, yet never taught to handle setbacks. By adulthood, he demanded constant validation, unable to cope with failure. Theories propose NPD stems from a paradox, a grandiose exterior hiding deep insecurity. Psychoanalyst Otto Kernberg suggests an underdeveloped sense of self, where individuals compensate with an inflated persona. Emotional regulation struggles also emerge. Criticism triggers rage or shame because their self-worth hinges on external approval. People with NPD often face inner turmoil. Their self-esteem, though outwardly robust, is fragile, collapsing under criticism or failure. Mark, the executive, might secretly feel empty, chasing promotions to fill a void, yet never feeling satisfied. Relationships fray due to their inability to connect authentically, leaving them isolated despite their charm. NPD strains bonds with family, friends, and partners. A spouse of someone with NPD, like Sarah, might endure years of emotional manipulation. Her partner belittles her achievements to boost his own ego, dismisses her feelings, and demands she cater to his needs. Friends tire of one-sided conversations, and children of narcissistic parents may feel unloved, valued only for reflecting the parent's greatness. In workplaces, narcissists like Mark may excel initially, their charisma and confidence winning promotions. Yet, their need for control and tendency to exploit colleagues can erode team morale. In leadership, some narcissistic traits, boldness, vision, may drive success, but lack of empathy risks toxic environments. Social media amplifies this, where curated personas feed the need for admiration, sometimes at society's expense. Psychotherapy is the cornerstone of NPD treatment, though progress is slow. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, helps challenge distorted beliefs, like the notion of inherent superiority. Psychodynamic therapy explores childhood roots, uncovering hidden insecurities. However, resistance is common. Mark might quit therapy, insisting, "I don't need fixing. Others do." Building trust and self-awareness is key, a process that can take years. No drug targets NPD directly. However, co-occurring issues, depression, anxiety, may be treated with antidepressants, e.g. SSRIs like sertraline, or anti-anxiety meds, e.g. lorazepam. A psychiatrist assesses these on a case-by-case basis, as symptoms vary widely. For those with NPD, self-help is tough due to denial, but mindfulness, focusing on the present, can foster self-reflection. For loved ones like Sarah, setting boundaries is crucial, saying no to unreasonable demands, refusing to engage in arguments. Support groups, like those offered by organizations such as the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, provide coping strategies. Therapy for partners or family can also heal the ripple effects of NPD. Brain imaging studies like those published in the Journal of Psychiatric Research, 2023, explore neural correlates of NPD, finding reduced activity in empathy-related areas. Genetic research, ongoing at institutions like the National Institute of Mental Health, probes hereditary links. Therapy effectiveness is under scrutiny, with trials testing schema therapy, a blend of CBT and emotional focus, showing promise. NPD carries stigma, often reduced to selfish jerk stereotypes. This oversimplification ignores the disorder's complexity and the suffering beneath the surface. Public education, through platforms like Psychology Today or mental health campaigns, aims to clarify that NPD isn't just arrogance. It's a clinical condition needing compassion and intervention. Advances may include tailored therapies, like integrating virtual reality to simulate empathy-building scenarios, early intervention, identifying at-risk youth with narcissistic traits, could prevent full-blown NPD. Cultural factors, such as collectivist versus individualist societies, are also being studied for their influence on prevalence and expression. Narcissistic personality disorder is a multifaceted condition, blending grandiosity, fragile self-worth, and a profound lack of empathy. Its symptoms, entitlement, exploitation, and admiration-seeking, stem from biological, environmental, and psychological roots, impacting individuals, relationships, and society. Treatment, though challenging, offers hope through therapy, support, and emerging research. If you or someone you know shows signs of NPD, consult a mental health professional. Psychologists, psychiatrists, or therapists can guide the way. Let's approach NPD with empathy, not judgment, fostering awareness and healing for all affected. With dedication, the journey from self-absorption to connection is possible. American Psychiatric Association, 2013. Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5. Washington, D.C. APA, Caligore, E. Petrides, G. 2023. Neuroimaging in Narcissistic Personality Disorder. Journal of Psychiatric Research, 158, 12-19. Malkin C. 2015. Rethinking Narcissism, The Bad and Surprisingly Good About Feeling Special. HarperCollins. Durvasula, R. 2019. Don't You Know Who I Am? How to Stay Sane in an Era of Narcissism. Post Hill Press. National Institute of Mental Health. www.nimh.gov. Mayo Clinic. Narcissistic Personality Disorder. www.mayoclinic.org. Psychology. Today, Narcissism. www.psychologytoday.com.